cover for a player of Sean Higgins' class?
Well, I don't think we replace him in terms of like for like. We've got to try and spread the load a little bit more, and unfortunately, it compounds a bit of an issue with our half forwards at the moment. We get Lindsay Thomas back from suspension, so I suppose that'll soften the blow to some extent. But it continues a position that we had an abundance of at the start of the year with the addition of Jed Anderson, and we're slowly diminishing our stock. So we probably have to restructure a little bit. But fortunately, we've got some players in good form at VFL level who are ready to play, just albeit maybe a slightly different position.
So Lindsay comes straight back in, just to clarify.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he's a really important player to us, and the silver lining of missing a week through suspension is that he's fresh and ready to play, and he'll be jumping out of his skin this weekend.
Are those trio, Taylor Garner, Kane Turner and Jed Anderson, each of them?
Probably all on slightly different schedules. We expect them probably to start training in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but we're going to be really conservative with all of them. Kane was probably fairly minor. Taylor Garner, just because of his injury history, we've been really conservative. So I'm not sure of a return to play. I'm more concerned about a return to train. So probably the next 3 weeks for all of them. Wellesley won't train today, and to be honest, I don't think we'll pick him. I mean, we're not absolutely decided on that just yet. There's a school of thought that we wait right up until the last minute to see if he gets up. But I mean, we took an approach last week with Sam Wright where we probably could have pushed him right up to the day of the game to select him. But we've got some guys who can replace them, and we just won't take any risk. That there's medicos want to give Wellesley another couple of days, but I suspect that if he doesn't do anything today, which the plan at the moment is for him not to do anything, then it'll be up to the coach to make the call.
How much does the fact that you are 7-0 allow you to sort of go a bit, be a bit more careful?
Yeah, I think it does have an influence, to be perfectly honest. Just purely because we're not scrambling. We've got to get certainly our best 22 out there each week to play, and that's still our intention. I mean, rather than resting guys en masse, we're looking more at who's a little bit sore, who's coming back from injury, and just as importantly, getting guys in who are playing good footy in the VFL. So, with the exception of Michael Ferrito, who we won't play this week, just because he's had a really good start to the year, 7 games in a row. We've had consecutive 6-day breaks a few times, so we'll leave Spud out. But everyone else, we're looking to play our strongest possible teams, with the exception of guys who, might be 10% off due to injury.
In terms of leaving Wells out potentially, has it got anything to do with the fact that it's Essendon?
No. I mean, it's purely the fact that we've got guys who are fit and ready to play. Last week we were really keen for Sam Wright to play, but the medicos just thought that it was probably a few days short, and as it turns out, he's not going to get up again this week. So that was clearly the right decision rather than trying to push him last week. So we're taking a no-risk approach with anyone who's got injuries, and we know that that'll probably change throughout the course of the year, because as you start to get more injuries, it compounds the availability. So you've got to probably push the envelope with a few guys. But right at the moment, we've got pretty good availability, so we can make those calls.
Handsome concussed in the VFL, does that mean he's unlikely to return?
Yeah, we thought he'd be clear because he pulled up 48 hours pretty well, but he regressed overnight, so had some headaches. So he went off for more MRIs today, and he's already been ruled out by the medical staff. So hopefully it's only 1 week.
What do you make of the prospect of potentially facing Nathan Grimer after all that you've been through with him?
Yeah, well, he's a real competitor, Nani, and I'm wrapped for him. I think I was one of the first guys to call him last week when he was selected in Essendon's team to congratulate him. It's a great story because I've said before I didn't think I was more concerned about his quality of life rather than returning to play AFL footy. So it's a great story, and our key forwards will have their work cut out because we know over a long period of time he's been a really competitive key defender for us.
Do you want Mackenzie, though, the leading candidates to come in?
They're in the mix, yeah. We've got probably 5 guys. We'll upgrade Farron Ray off the rookie list to replace Sean Higgins, or to come on for Sean. Sean will go on the long-term injury list today. So And again, that'll just spread the options that we've got available. So we've still got a couple of decisions to make, but plenty of guys to come in.
Just on Grimer, when you found out that he was going to take up the job at Essendon, what was your initial reaction? Were you a bit shocked? Or?
Yeah, I was shocked only because, and I think it's really important to stress, shocked, not disappointed. Like, I was shocked because we were concerned about his quality of life. I mean, he was retiring because he had an injury that potentially would affect his later life. When he has kids and those sorts of things, your back's pretty important. So, but that. He's a real competitor. He was really driven to get back and play, and when the opportunity came up, he was so keen to take it. So, I'm just wrapped for him. It's a great story, I think, because where he was probably 6-8 months ago to where he is now is chalk and cheese. So it's a real credit to him.
How's Sean Higgins' mindset after such a big setback?
Oh, he's obviously disappointed, particularly given that it's a bit of a strange one, because it's not often a situation is when you come off injured. Everything looks okay, come back on, play so well, kick a goal from 50, hit the post from outside 50 after that. He felt pretty good, albeit a little bit sore, and even the next day he felt okay, but he got progressively worse. So we made a decision that we could probably, there were 2 options with surgery, one to rush him back and the other one to do the full repair and make sure that his long-term future is taken care of. So we're still really confident we'll get him back in the back half of the year. But most importantly, we're getting back to his best.
There's a proposal from the Coaches Association that clubs wouldn't be able to go to assistant coaches, interview them to be their coach next year until the finals. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it'd be good to have a bit of a policy in place to make sure that clubs' finals campaigns aren't derailed, and but also give assistant coaches a really good opportunity to present to. Be a senior coach at another club. So I think that the principle's okay. As always with these things, the devil's in the detail. But I think that every club at the moment's got really good respect for the opportunity for an assistant coach to become a senior coach. I mean, in our case, we'd support any assistant coach that potentially would be a senior coach anywhere else. But I think a framework around that process is a good idea.
I don't know, you spoke about it after the game, but are you surprised at the level of commentary regarding the shot clock?
No, I thought there'd be more commentary after the Ben Brown incident, if you like. I think it was round 4 against Fremantle. So, we're pretty clear on the scenario there. As the AFL decided to bring the shot clock in. We know the rules, and we've been told by the AFL plenty of times that we don't make the rules, we just play to them. So that's exactly what we're doing.
Is it a directive? Do the players speak about using it to their advantage?
Yeah, but I think it's not something that's going to be prevalent all the time. I think it's late in game. Potentially it could be used if there was a howling breeze going one way. You want to take up all the time you can when you're going into the wind. But all those things the players do subconsciously anyway, or even consciously when there's not a shot clock. They know that they've got their 30 seconds, and if they want to take it, they can.